What's up, witches? It's the Undercover Witch, and we're starting the month back over. So this reading is for you if your sun sign is in Aries. We are going to be using the True Heart Tarot, the Spirit Song Tarot, and then the Oracle of E to get some messages for you. So let's go ahead and begin. Well, that's gone. Oh. Well, that just flew, didn't it? Okay, so to begin the month, we have the Princess of Discs, the Lovers reversed, the Tower, and then starting in the second week of May, we have the Four of Wands. So I feel like this Princess of Discs is somebody coming to tell you and or give you something. I can't tell if it's good or not. I feel like for some of you, it could be like good news with a hint of not so great news mixed in with it. On the other hand, I'm wondering if the pentacle part matters. I think that just represents a person. So maybe think of somebody in your life who is like younger, maybe feminine, but kind of well off, like that sort of thing is kind of what I'm getting. But somebody's either watching you or they're coming to tell you something. And with this Lovers card, and it's in reverse, this could go a few ways. But with the Lovers and the Tower there, and the fact that I think this is some kind of message or some kind of witness to an event, it might be a third party situation, unfortunately, or maybe I'm also getting this other part where maybe you're just kind of down in the dumps over something, and this person is kind of just seeing this. They're seeing you as you are. And a lot of people don't realize, but when somebody gets to witness you, or you get to witness something happen, or you wonder like, why did I have to be in this person's life? Or, you know, did I really deserve that? Or like, what am I doing? You know, it's just so that you could be a witness. So the universe can see, and they can kind of be judged fairly based off of your reaction. Like they need somebody with balanced out energy to figure out what's going on, and a third party, an outside party to look in. So I think that's kind of what's happening here, is this person's kind of seeing you and they're like, oh, and that's kind of the universe's way of seeing you, of taking part in this tower event, because it might not be something that the universe necessarily wants you to go through. It might just be something that you had to go through, you put yourself into. So yeah, we do those things sometimes, like a forced tower moment. The Four of Wands is next week though, so there's going to be some kind of celebration next week. We have the Five of Wands, so some trouble there. Usually that relates to just arguing and fighting. In this deck, it's more of an internal struggle. And then we have the Princess of Wands. So you have some kind of brief celebration. Graduations are happening around this time of year. So if you're like in high school or college, or graduating, or maybe there's just some event that you're attending, maybe it's a wedding that you're attending, there's going to be some kind of brief celebration in the beginning of next week, and then followed by like some trouble thinking. It's like you're trying to figure out, and actually honestly, if this is a graduation, it would make sense, because you're trying to think of a creative way to put your life together. And so the Five of Wands and Princess of Wands, those wands are all about ideas and like passion and how you're going to piece those things together. It's kind of trying to figure that out. So you're trying to figure your life out. So you went from like heartbroken to trying to figure your life out very abruptly, which aren't we all? Let's go ahead, and that is the second week. So let's see the third week. We have the Seven of Wands, the Ace of Swords. So you're kind of, that third week, you're kind of walking into the world like not really, I don't want to say you're not prepared, because I think you are prepared in a way. usually the usually the Seven of Wands has like a different kind of tone to it. But it's kind of similar, but it's basically, you know, you're working hard towards something and you're taking a lot of flack from it. But the way this card is coming up, it's facing your future. So things are coming in from the future and you're kind of walking out into the world and you're like, well, this is harder than I thought. We have the Ace of Wands reversed. So you're just not really sure how to handle what's coming at you or how to make your next steps or next decisions. But I think that answer is going to go to, like, you have an elevated status of some sort that you're walking into the world to, whether it has to do with a situation or just in general. Maybe if you're like moving out of your parents' house or something, whatever it is, you have either good skills, credentials, or your personality, just who you are, is worth something. So I feel like you're not going in like other people have to, like the fool who has just the bag over his shoulder. Like, no, you have your satchel, you have like this cattle that you're riding on, you have a pentacle. You don't have shoes, but you know, you look like you know what you're doing at least. And let's see the last week of May. Okay, so we have like an unknown path that you're traveling, but your destination is happiness. We have the Ten of Cups, we have the Moon, and then we also have the Three of Cups, and then 3 bonus cards that have come out. But let's talk about these first. So the Moon, again, this is your path. You're just like trying to figure out where to go. It kind of seems unsettling. You're not exactly sure the direction that you're going. And then we have the Ten of Cups. So this I feel like is your destination. This is where you're headed. You just don't really know the path to get there, but you're on the right path. You do have a path to get there. So don't think that, like, you know, as long as you keep heading straight, you're going the right way. You don't have to go in a straight line. But the universe is like carving out a little thing for you. And you know what? That's another thing. So when you get the blinders on and you feel like you're having a hard time seeing like all the possibilities and opportunities you have in front of you, that's because, you know, the universe is putting little blinders on so that you'll just walk straight forward so that you can be on the quote easier path, that you don't have to like go around and try to figure out different ways to get there. It's just to like kind of like really focus. The universe is asking you really focus on this one thing. Like, just trust us for a second. Like, don't look at anything else. Don't try to, like, you know how you feel like you're drowning and you're just like don't try to look at anything else. Don't try to like force anything. Just allow what needs to happen to happen. And then we have the Three of Cups. So I feel like your friends are going to be celebrating you in a way in that last week. So I feel like whatever happiness you have, your friends, or there are friends around you that want that for you too, which is perfect, because I mean, if everybody can get around to like wanting the same thing as you want for yourself, like they want these things for you and those are things that you want for yourself, then you've got great people in your life. Like, that's awesome. I wish I could have that. And you know, with some discretion, like with some like, yeah, I don't want you to like go driving drunk even though you really want to right now. No, like it's like the big picture items, and they support that, and that's why they will help stop you from making poor decisions. So we also have the Four of Discs. So there's something that you're going to be building soon, and I feel like this is the same little guy with no shoes. And the universe is watching, how I mentioned at the beginning. The universe is watching that tower fall, and it's going to be watching you create your new little home. And we have the Nine of Cups, which is about just having options. But in this deck, it's not really a trick. You just have options. And we have the Universe, which is if you notice, like, look at that. He's all about control. And when you have too much control, sometimes you force tower moments in your life because you're trying to get somewhere too fast. You're not really following that path. So the Emperor here, I feel like, is just like a master of control, because to master control, you have to be balanced. Wow, I've been saying balanced a lot past few readings, but you have to be able to see when you need to let certain things go, and then when you need to control certain things. So it's kind of like that Emperor, that energy has a watchful eye on you, but hopefully it doesn't interfere so much. But let's go ahead. We're just going to pull a few of the Spirit Song cards, and then a few of the Oracle of E. We have Entangled, we have Silver Lining, we have At Your Service, and Bunny Hop Jive. So lots of celebration. But again, there's that Tower moment that you're dealing with, whether it has to do with relationship, whether it has to do with work. It just feels like, again, somebody's watching you struggle with something. We have, and I think the Silver Lining is that there's this new leap, new journey that you're taking, and you're just kind of a little bit lost on it. But the universe is trying to help you. It is at your service. You just need to communicate and ask for knowledge and information. Like sit down and meditate for a bit and just ask the universe questions. Wait for like just an impression to come up in your head. The best way that I can say that the universe speaks to us is whenever we are just like, all of a sudden you get a faint feeling of something. I shouldn't even say feeling, because sometimes it's not really a feeling. It is like an impression. It's not like I was thinking, how many diamonds do I have? In my head, I'm like, I have 5. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I mean, I do know what I'm talking about, but I feel like that was a dumb question. Okay, let me try. But you know what I mean? Like, it's different than you just thinking like, okay, there's a candle on my desk right now. Like having just those regular thoughts in your head. Like usually it's another thing that kind of comes in. And I think that's the universe is wanting you to like sit down and do, is like ask a question and see what kind of like impressions, like all of a sudden if you're thinking of a bunny and it, like, why am I thinking of that? It's really random. It's really weird. Maybe you should look up the symbolism of it, you know, just kind of see what comes to mind, see what comes around, and kind of pay attention to symbols and things like that. We do have mental clarity and foundation. So I really do feel like this is a very grounded in like somebody graduating or like leaving the nest, leaving the house. We have stability and attainment. And then preparation and resourcefulness. So yeah, I really do think that is what it is. Let's go ahead and do some 3 yes or no questions with the pendulum. Show me your yes. Show me your no. Think of your question. 1, 2, 3, 4. May I have an answer to that question? That one is a slight yes. So we have intuition and sacred knowledge. So you need to trust in what you know. And again, try to ask that universe like questions, but trust your instinct. Trust that thing that comes up first that's like, hey, unless you struggle with like thoughts kind of like I do. I think that those thoughts that come from the universe, again, are a lot lighter of an impression than your actual thoughts. They're less concrete. So if you have a really loud voice in your head like I do that's like really critique or really dark, then that's probably not the voice. The voice is really, really like light. Second question. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Can I have the answer? That's going to be a no. And we have happiness and abundance. So I'm thinking that if there's a certain way that you're trying to travel, like you're trying to switch gears or trying to switch paths, or you're like panicking at the last second, or like you're like, am I always going to be unhappy? Something like that. The answer would be no. And we do have happiness and abundance. So I think you are going to get to where you want to go, or where maybe you don't even know what that looks like for you. But the universe does. And they know you're going to get there. Last question. Can I have an answer to that question, please? That is a yes, and a definite yes. We have collaboration and productivity. So you're going to be, I feel like this is a question about a job or like a new job, or maybe just happiness at a job. But I feel like you're going to be working towards something that you believe in, that you feel happy to work for. Not to say that your job's gonna be perfect, because who knows if that exists. Like, does anybody really want to go to work on Monday? But I do think it will be like, you won't super dread it every Monday. So you'll be working on something that you somewhat enjoy, that's not going to drive you insane. So I hope that was helpful, Aries. If you have not already, please like, subscribe, comment on the video, and what else? I wasn't really planning on doing these today, so I'm kind of like not in the headspace for it. But if you've already liked, subscribed, or commented, thank you. I do appreciate it. I do have links down below. You know all about them if you've watched my videos, so you can go check those out. They're affiliate links for Podbean and just a link for Wisdom. It's not an affiliate link though. And I hope y'all have a great week.